Oh my goodness. Look at the angle.
Your bump is bumping.
My bump is officially bumping. I feel really, really alone, and I can't stop crying. So sad how so many of us live day-to-day life, not opening up, not telling people how alone we feel. We are officially off to the next location.
They were able
We're
to,
going to
through frequency and through the stargates as well, teleport their physical bodies to different locations within this realm. You'll hear stories of this. They're able to predict time. How were they able to predict time? Because they were accessing the potentialities.
Oh my god, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
This is where you even get into
apparently it's even cooler where we're going.
It's called Project Looking Glass.
It's got very hot here again.
Agencies. They've also used.
But we're going to go and stop at Mercadona, get some food supplies. Now our fridge is working. Stock up the fridge, get some snacks, get some meals, and then we're making our way through France. Yeah, we got pulled over. David decided not to put the lights on. So, how much did we get fined, babe?
Don't ask. It was just it's basically a nice meal out in Marbella. When you've been living in Marbella for a month, a fucking €100 police fine is nothing really.
€100, guys, because I told him, babe, you've got to put your lights on. He's like, no, I don't. I was like, yeah, you do the signs, you've got to put the lights on. He didn't listen to me. And the police came over and said, you've got to put your lights on, we need to give you a ticket. So I think the lesson is, you've got to listen to your wife. Agreed?
The Spanish guy said whenever you're in a car or anything in Spain, always have your side lights on.
Yeah, these things. I knew we didn't have them on. And I said to you, you've got to put your lights on.
I was looking at that sign for ages going, what the fuck is that? Like,
there's
even
literally
the
that light,
confused.
we just went
But
past
even the
one.
sign's
It's not,
confused.
because it says light, question mark. Have you got your lights on? You don't have your lights on.
No, but
and now you've got
the
to pay
sign's
like that.
confused.
No,
It's like,
you're confused and you don't listen to me. Said it so many times.
you did say it to me, put your lights on. I was like, no, I didn't. I've looked at that sign so many times, but what does that mean?
Oh, but then listen to me.
I thought it meant no
knew what
fault
it meant.
means.
Oh my god. They didn't even give us a warning, guys. They literally just find us on the spot. But apparently that is absolutely normal for Spain. So, warning, guys. Always put your lights on. Oh my god. I'm choosing the most narrowest.
It's not even funny. I don't know why you're laughing.
I mean, you can't not laugh.
We'll be laughing when one of these wheels falls off and our suspension's left here.
Oh my goodness. Hey, baby. So, next park up in this gorgeous
The only thing
location.
I'm worried about is if it rains.
Well, at least it's cloud. I'm so happy about that. It's still 25 degrees, but it's lovely.
Do you want this out?
Yeah. Get the table out, we can play the cards. Oh, this is life right now, and we're just about to make some dinner. Got the back doors open because it's been so hot. This van is still heated, so I need to air it out a little bit. Air out the sheets. It's just so cosy. It's really
Dave's got another repair job to do.
Yeah. Oh, what's the repair job now?
No, just the roof cover.
Oh my god, yeah. So the roof, literally the wind last night blew the roof off, literally. So we've got to repair that tonight. But, I mean, we weren't really supposed to park at this bit. The campsite's like there, but there was a park, it said parking, and it's not a plot. But we really want some peace and quiet and a really good view, so we're doing it anyways. We're totally off grid, we don't need any electric. So we're just going to go and tell the lady that we found a spot on our own. No one else is in here, look. But I think it's okay. And apparently there's like, well, I saw a swimming pool. There's like a play area, a restaurant, all down there. So we thought we'd go for the campsite rather than the motorhome site. Oh my god. I'm going to get the Uno out. Aren't we, Gino? I need to feed you as well. You hungry? Aren't you? Oh, you're so cute. So the hubby's just gone to the toilet. And I've just set up this evening's games. Gino's in there. Dan's all set up for evening time. The fairy lights on. And I've got my glass of tinned wine. It's blackcurrant. But in a wine glass makes the occasion even more special. And David's going to think that we've got 2 glasses of wine. But he'll probably be disappointed when he realises it's not wine. Last day. Can you even see David? It's so dark. Let there be light. We are currently in Le Mans. Over to David Le Mans. But yeah, we just woke up and we're gonna, I literally have no makeup on. But we're, and the hay fever's back officially. We're near home. We're literally like near Calais, about 2 hours from Calais. We're about to go into the town. Oh my god, guys, the town is just stunning. I don't think we got footage lengthwise, did we? I'll have to add some here of the night time, but we're going to go in the day and have a little film so you guys can see. But what a stunning, is it a village, a town? No, it's a town. It's got a cathedral.
It's built by the Romans.
But this tiny, but the historic bit, it's like its own little town. It's so cute. It's so historic. We had dinner there.
Years old.
It's 1,200 years old.
1,200 years old.
Wow.
No.
So we're going to go and find a patisserie.
It's 1800. It was built in
280.
No.
Yeah.
218.
218 AD. Yeah.
AD, yeah. So it's 1,800 years old, which is insane. And you can tell all the different time periods in there. It's great.
Yeah. And my bump is officially bumping. Look at that, guys. Oh my god, it actually does look massive. Oh my goodness. Look at that angle.
Your bump is bumping.
My bump is officially bumping. It's like full on out. I mean, definitely wider. From here, you can't, well, yeah, you can actually still tell, can't you, front on. But,
I can feel them moving.
Oh my god, yeah, they are moving. David felt them moving.
So cool.
It was so weird. It's so weird, isn't it? Like they somersault and move, and then you can feel.
It sent a shock through my body.
Did it?
Ooh. Ooh. So
I was asleep. But yeah, I'm used to them moving now. They move a lot when I walk. But yeah, guys, like this is now officially, what am I, 4.5 months or something?
Yeah, baby, there's outside the fan.
Hay fever face mist. Right. It bloody stinks, this stuff as well. Amazon, lifesaver. I'd blow my nose with them. Just blowing your nose with tissue just hurts. Let's get some proper tissues. Lovely. Fresh. Right, let's go. Ready? Oh, but guys, this trip has officially made me fall in love with van life again. It's made me miss it so much. Has it made you miss it?
Not when it's hot.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like, but then this van, like we bought it in. Back door as well, babe. Yeah, this van we bought it in winter, and we drove it all up to Scotland. And our first, so May, June, like we had it. It was done. 10 weeks. It was done by May because we got it all done. We literally spent so long trying to find the right van. If you haven't watched our previous videos, you can go back onto the playlist Van Life. Because we documented the whole journey from buying the van, finding the van. I mean, we got conned a couple of times. We didn't actually get conned, but like there's so many sprinters out there that had that clocked miles and stuff like that. So we really were on a mission to find a good quality van, and we managed to find this one in Van Base. So if any problems, which there was not a couple of problems, but there's a couple of things that needed sorting, but nothing major. Like the radio was broken, but they replaced the radio straight away. I think the guy who we got it built from gave us like a whole, year warranty, so we could really wear and tear, not wear and tear it, but like make sure it works in all seasons and nothing's wrong. And if there was anything wrong, we could have drove back and he would have fixed it. But yeah, I think the following year was winter, and we had to go back up because the fridge wasn't drawing enough power, and I think one of the leads were like faulty, so then he replaced the fridge for us. But other than that, nothing, everything's been so smooth with it. Getting it professionally done by a professional, getting the van from an actual van company, I really would recommend it. I mean, to try and do it cheap, you're gonna get problems, but we didn't do it cheap. We did it, within reason, but we definitely went high quality and to Van Base, who were well and trusted, not just on a private dealer. Because trust me, the private dealers they were trying to con us, so we went and saw a few. But yeah, it's just been amazing. And then obviously living that van life we did van life for about a year when we didn't have a home. We literally sold up I say sold up, we packed up, left the place that David was living at. Pretty much we had a barn, which was a derelict stable at my mum's, that she said, look, because it's not being used, it was too derelict for even horses to be in. But David was like, I can do it up for us as like a storage, as like a temporary place before we get our main house, while we're doing van life, because we obviously needed somewhere to store all our stuff. And then so we bought the van, started the reno at the barn, and then while the van was getting renoed, and then within 10 weeks, I think it was 10 weeks, the van was done. Went and picked up the van, did a Scotland trip, which was insane to get the van. And then obviously when we got the van, it was like perfect temperature, absolute perfect temperature. Like it was a little bit like crisp, but we could have the heating on, but then the sun was still shining. It was May, and it was just like, we went to the locks, dipped our feet in the locks. It was very cold in the locks, but just the whole experience. But yeah, like in the UK, the van is perfect because you've got the heating, central heating, which was like proper gas, like a central heating you'd have at home. We've got it in the van, always warm and cozy. So it's perfect for like wintry, going into even winter. We were absolutely fine in winter. Oh, Gina. We were fine in winter. Everyone was like, oh my God, you're going to freeze. Absolutely fine. May was fine, July was good. Like in the UK, obviously it's fine, but when we started going to places, the first Europe trip, we didn't actually go. The only place we went to that was hot was south of France, wasn't it? We went all the way to Monaco in it, but we went through like Luxembourg, Germany. No, we didn't go to Germany, did we? Went to Belgium, then went to Luxembourg, Switzerland, Italy, then France, then Monaco. Oh my God, it was hot in Monaco, and that was when we realised, okay, we don't have aircon. Didn't even think about it, did we, babe? I don't even think it crossed our minds, because we live in a colder country. Like when we found out that the van didn't have aircon, we were like, oh, we'll be fine, like the windows are fine. But when you get into 30 degrees heat, guys, I was Googling aircon the other day, not gonna lie. But yeah, it's just uncomfortable. But the good thing is we have the Max Air fan, which is a lifesaver, because I know not a lot of, those campers next to us, they don't have the Max Air fan. Pulls air in through the roof and out the fan. So it pulls it through the van. So it's kind of like we've got like a really strong fan so it circulates the air. That is really good. So that's perfect for like nice temperature. Obviously when the air's hot, it's not great, it's still a bit sticky, but we've had 2 nights out of the whole trip. To be fair, we've only had 2 nights out of the whole trip, haven't we? And then last night wasn't that bad. Yeah, last night was actually all right, but it was a bit hot when we got in the van because we parked it in the sun. But yeah, the rule is don't park your van in the sun, because even though it's well insulated and it's still cooler in the van than it was outside, it was still warm and it was still a bit sticky. So yeah, we're parking in the shade. There's things you can do to make it more comfortable, but we've just not been doing that. In hot areas, it's not the best van, like hot, but in like, to pick the months, and then we really do enjoy it. And yeah, the time we've had here has just brought that love back for it. But we've not had a lot of time to travel because of the business and IVF and everything that we've gone through the last few years, which been a bit of a journey, isn't it, Bill? Yeah. We've just not had the time to travel, and now these babies are on the way. We're like, these could be the last few months, but we have spoke about going on another trip, right?
Yeah.
You want to go up that way?
Yeah.
But that's really...
No, it's a gradual.
Huh?
Gradual.
Is it gradual? Okay, because I have pulled my back. I don't know if I want to do stairs. Okay. Oh God, I literally bent down this morning and my lower back, top of the bum, is killing me. Let me just spin around because Gina's twisting around. But yeah, we've said, because obviously I don't know how pregnant I can get getting in that bed, because that's a bit of a climb. But until then, we might actually do a little August trip. We want to go Glastonbury, and then we said we want to do Scotland again. Yeah. And if we do go Scotland, because we may be selling the van. We've already got someone that's interested. Yeah? Oh my goodness. David's just... I am pregnant, babe. I'm carrying like... There's 3 of me. Oh, I'm out of breath already just going up this bit.
That's gradual. That's the cathedral.
Yeah, but... Oh, okay,
if you
gradual.
want to do the gradual, I'm going to do the cathedral and I'll meet you down there.
Really?
Yeah, because I really want to see the cathedral.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to do the stairs. Okay, but just...
Do you want me to push?
Yeah, push me. Thank you. Oh, this is good.
I'm going to carry.
No, I'm okay. Wait, let me wipe the camera. Oh, but yeah, so we decided. Okay, so we've decided, but I'm doing this talking as well. Maybe I shouldn't talk.
This is a little beard in the background.
No, this is actually really helping. You're actually lifting a lot of
really
my.
Helping. I know.
You're carrying a lot of my weight.
I'm doing double the work.
So yeah, we're doing Glastonbury in Scotland, and I was saying if we go to Scotland, babe, we can get things sort of fixed up a little bit, freshened up by Alex before we sell it, because we've already got a buyer interested. And if anyone else is interested, you're more than welcome to
Yeah, but I think we
do
underpriced that, man.
No, I haven't priced it yet, babe. I haven't even said a price yet. I'm trying to work out what it's worth now.
I don't really want anything less than 50 for it.
No, but Alex said that the last one he sold was £85,000.
That would have been brand new.
Brand new.
Oh,
No, the van's not brand new. The build's brand
the build
new.
is.
Yeah. But I was only
But
3
our
years
build
old.
still looks brand new.
I know, we only lived in it for a year. And I say lived in it, we didn't travel in it for a year. We only done some trips.
I'm fudged.
Oh God, what's this?
How much are you done?
Oh, I feel great.
Oh my God, what a view. Was it not worth it?
Oh my God, guys, look at this. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you are blowing more than me. Oh, Juno's decided to go this way. Right, go this way. They were filming here yesterday. Oh my God. They were filming here yesterday, hence why all the straw on the floor. And I'll show you where they were filming. But yeah, it's obviously some like olden day film, because it looks that all the outfits were just so traditional, like from when probably this was built, and it was just so cool to watch a whole film crew and what they were doing, and it literally looked like something out of a movie. I'm gonna have a look in there. Oh my goodness.
This place is insane.
Imagine getting married here.
The energy now.
So I'm waiting for David because Gino was literally barking so loud that it was echoing through the whole cathedral. Yeah, so I had to come out and sit with him. But yeah, while he's in there just exploring, I just wanted to come on here and just just share like what's really been going on beneath the surface, should we say. This last sort of, I think it's been like the last week. Definitely a lot has come to the surface emotionally for me since being out here. Actually, since leaving Marbella and coming through Spain and France, going through the mountains, like we literally we've had the best time. Like the spots we've found through Park for Night, for those who are asking. I know a couple of you reached out and said, "Oh, how do you find all these amazing places?" But we use an app called Park for Night, for campers that, you know, that have the best spots, and you always, I pay for mine, so you can get like the best rating. You can filter and go the best rating, the highest stars, you know, the best places to go. And oh my god, they have not let me down. They have been absolutely amazing. But yeah, I always say, like, when David and I travel, especially to certain points where and especially when it's like intuitive, like we don't really plan our trips. We're more like guided by, I feel like, by places that we're called upon. And I believe like our trips are so divine, like how we've found ourselves at like certain pinpoints, and you know, in history, and oh, it's just like we both get so blown away by it. But yeah, a little bit, I'm sharing a little bit more depth of David and I's relationship. But yeah, anytime we do travel, it does stir like deep emotions within us both. So leaving Marbella, and Marbella has been somewhere I've been going literally my whole childhood. We used to have a villa there, and there's a lot of history there. My dad used to go from when he was like, I think not younger, but like when he just had me, we started going there. And there's a lot of history there for me. And I felt like when I was there, like I could feel like this sort of dense energy, and I felt very introvert being there, very reflective, and yeah, just like everything's changed, like being in a place where I've always been. Obviously later years I used to go and party there a lot and being in the places where from the old version of me to the version of me now, like I remember, and I was saying to this today, there's so much reflection going on, but walking down the promenade, and I remember like walking down that promenade absolutely pissed out my face, like so drunk, like so lost, so confused, so wanted love but didn't know where to look for love or where love was. I felt like I was always looking in the wrong places, and I was obviously looking in the wrong places. Like I didn't want a party boy, yet I was partying all the time, so I was like, Lauren, you need to change. Yeah.
Mary Magdalene relics in there, a whole section of that.
No way. How was that? Did you get anything on footage?
No.
Oh, you should have filmed it.
It's a personal moment. Right, let's
I know, but I just want to finish my chat. Okay, yeah, I'll take Gina then. I'll carry on the chat. Oh, I gotta get up. Ow. And then yeah, so like seeing like how far I've come, being in a place where you've always been, and especially like not the last few times, because I've been there with David a couple of times since I've been with him for 5 years. So, but just remembering 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017, like the version I was, who I was, just was like, I don't know. I just was like, whoa, like I've come so far. I'm not that same version of me. I couldn't think of anything worse than going out and partying. Obviously, I'm pregnant. I'm not going to be doing that anyways. But even the year before, nothing in us wanted to party. I think we went to one beach club last year, which was fun, and I could have a drink, obviously. But being pregnant now, going into our, you know, family life, I said to David, I was like, I feel like this energy is completed here. I feel like it's done. And he was like, it's so weird that I feel that too. And I said, I think this is going to be like the last time we come here. You know, we might come back maybe in a few years' time just to reminisce, but I feel like there's nothing calling us back there anymore. And it felt like an end to an end. It felt like an end of a chapter, end of there was like a comfort there for me. I don't know what it was. I can't really explain it, but just like this sort of home away from home. But then the version I am today to the version I was before, when I was really, you know, making the most of being there, the dense energy and like, you know, the party life, like it's just not aligned. It doesn't align anymore. It was so weird. I was just like, it's too busy. I just wanted peace. I went really into myself. Do you not want to go down there? Okay.
You want to wait here and I'll go?
Okay, you go to it. I'm going to film this, like this place here, because it's so cool. Yeah, I'll wait here. And yeah, and I was just like, right, the energy's too dense. Like, we need to find somewhere that's like, you know, or like go new places, like start new things, new chapters. Like I don't want to keep reliving my old life. And yeah, and David was really on the same like wavelength, and so was my brother, to be fair. And obviously he's got small children now, and it's not the place for small children. Like we're trying to hold on to something because we're used to it, and it's like all the memories, but I'm like, I'm ready to let go of the memories. Like I really spent a lot of time like reflecting, and it brought up a lot of emotion for me of like my past and, you know, how I treated myself, how I treated others, like the version I was, and it brought up a lot of guilt. You know, I don't know if I shared, like I had a puddle of tears one morning, just reflecting on just like the kind of girlfriend I was. Well, I had a boyfriend when I was out there one time, and I just wasn't a nice person. Like, yeah, I did some shit that I definitely regretted. I didn't regret it at the time because I justified it, you know, like most people do. They just justify their own mistakes. But trust me, underneath the justification, the actual reality is like, I was a shit girlfriend. And I started to realise, and this is what, towards the end of the holiday, I started to realise, like, I've never known what a healthy relationship is. And that's so sad. You know, and 100% compared to all my relationships, David is the healthiest relationship I've ever been in. But still, even then, over the 5 years, we've had to move through a lot of toxicity and a lot of energy that's been there, like, you know, my resentment and frustration and anger towards man. You know, not just David, but, you know, all like every relationship I've had, like the resentment, everything, I've had to move through that. And David as well, like his deep hatred and resentment for women, that comes up between us sometimes, and it can be really nasty, and it can be really evil, it can be really horrible, and we have to really catch ourselves. Like, we have to be very conscious of this energy when it does come up and it gets stirred up between us. Any conflict, anything, you know, going against each other like that, it's not like we argue, but we can definitely have a very clash of opinions. We're two very strong characters, and just navigating through these emotions consciously without losing ourselves, it's not easy. It's not an easy journey. But obviously, you know, for those in the community, they know David and I, like, we're so open about our relationship, and we know how to handle conflict. We've learned so much along the 5 years. But being there, having that reflection, being ready for the next level of my life, it was something shifted in me. I was ready for like a next level of just, yeah, new chapter. But in that, like, coming of a new chapter, and obviously carrying my gorgeous twins, like, I'm like wanting to be the best mother I can be, wanting to be the best wife I can be, wanting to be the best daughter and sister, and just, you know, wanting to be the best version of me. Like, that's the most important. Like, and I just felt like out there was definitely little traits that kept coming up of my past version being there, and I was like, this is really interesting. But anyways, like I said, I was introvert, I was witnessing. But then right at the end of the holiday, I'd addressed with David, we had a bit of a moment, and I said to him, like, this is actually really not healthy, like what we're doing. And I'm ready for something more. Like, I'm ready to like not be that version anymore. Like, there was still a version of me that I was still holding on to. And moving through that guilt, I came to this other level in myself, managed to have this really amazing conversation with David. But that conversation had triggered so much. So I'm going to tell you the rest of the story in a minute, because it gets very deep and personal, and there's a really big lesson I've learned in it that I really want to share with you guys. But first, I need to show you this film set because it's insane. So yeah, I was just like, oh my god, this is insane. So I thought I had to show you that, because that would literally blew us away. We were watching like a whole filming thing, and I need to find out, because look, all the costumes, like all the costumes, like the decorations. I had to find out what film it is. But yeah, so it obviously triggered something in both of us. But on the way back through the mountains from Spain, from Marbella, stuff started to shift, stuff started to move in me, and I felt like, I don't know what it was, like I felt so emotional leaving. Like, I just started crying. Obviously pregnancy hormones, I'm going to be crying, I'm going to be emotional, but this was just like another level. This is like something deep within myself, and I don't know if it's my babies clearing things away, because I love the bell. Wow. Yeah, I don't know if it's like the babies, like, you know, moving things in my womb, because you hold your emotions in your womb, hence why women get very emotional when they're pregnant, because, you know, there's a lot of energy going there, there's a lot of energy moving there, so it's going to bring up emotion. And yeah, I just allowed the tears to flow. I literally allowed the tears to flow, just witnessing what was coming up for me. But I just knew that the type of mother I want to be, like, I still had this like deep, I would say, yeah, just this frustration, this like lack of love, this like, I don't know, there's like things I was avoiding in conversation because I didn't want conflict. Things were coming up that I was finding difficult, like in our relationship, how we speak to each other sometimes, my frustrations. Obviously, when you're pregnant, I do get it, and I know a lot of you want to be about, oh, when you're pregnant, pregnancy hormones, but I don't want to justify, you know, my anger and frustration, and like how I can come across, my tone, and how I speak to people, right? And I was witnessing that I was doing this to David, and I think one time David and I had a bit of a disagreement, and I then took it out, not took it out on the kids, but I was so like done. The way I spoke to the kids was very blunt and very stern, and they were like, what have we done? But I just couldn't get out of this mood. And then I didn't want to justify being like that. You know, I said to them, look, I'm not in a good mood. Please just get out of the pool. We need to leave. Like, you either stay and we don't go to this place. They wanted to go to a place before the airport, and I was like, well, we're not going to have time. So if you don't get out, you're not going to that place. And if you do get out, then we're going to that place. But need to mind you up. You've got 3 seconds to make your mind up. And I really sounded like my own mum. And I was thinking, why am I being like this? Anyway, so I just allowed myself just to reflect on it and just to cool down and just to, you know, witness myself. By the way, this is just one example, because the emotions were definitely building and stirring over the 3 weeks, and I'd been very quiet and introvert, not talking, and yeah, suddenly so much started coming up, and I was having to navigate while communicate how I was really feeling underneath the surface. And I just explained to them, saying, look, Lauren's going through a little bit at the moment. You know, I said, obviously I'm pregnant. Doesn't excuse my behaviour. But I'm sorry for talking to you boys about that, like that. But I'm just reflecting on a few things, and I just need a little bit of time and space. But I do apologise, and I apologise, which is fine. I understand, like, that's nice, that's good. I did well, but there was something in me that's like, I know I'm capable of opening my heart more. I still can feel that there's just some of these layers that are still not fully open. And I noticed this with David as well. And, you know, we only know the relationship we're in from the level we're in it, right? We only know what we already know. But there is a part of me that knows that I'm capable of more, and I want more. And it's not like I want, it's really hard to say, but like, I know that there's another level to access. That's it. I know there's more to love than what is, and I'm willing to go to these depths, to explore what's in the way of the love, to access them, to feel better in my own skin, to not have to be the way I am because of the way I am, you know, like all my mum's traits, all my dad's traits, or whatever it is. Like, you know, there's definitely an avoidance in me, there's definitely like a sternness in me still, there's definitely like a frustration in me, and you know, and I want to get down to the bottom of it, so then I can be open and receptive and just more carefree and more just go with the flow, rather than trying to control the situation. So yeah, I moved through this sort of layers of like reflection coming through on the way back or through to where we are now. And oh my God, like, it opened up the doors to a lot of communication between me and David. And in the long story short, not that it's a short story, guys, I'm going off on one here, but I wanted to share with you like how these emotions we feel, not saying just during pregnancy, but during relationships, during pregnancy, during things in your life that bring things up, they are teaching you. They're teaching you something about yourself that you need to reflect on, and you need to take that accountability of, like, you know, your body's trying to tell you something, your emotions are trying to guide you through something so you can actually get what you want. If I signaled I wanted an even deeper love, even though this is the most deepest love I've ever had in my life, I knew there was more, and I knew that I'm capable of loving more. And if I'm capable of loving more, I know I'm capable of receiving more. So, and I aired this to David, and he actually did agree, although it did trigger a lot in him of, you know, me sharing it. It was also, I can see the counterpart, what he was feeling is the fact that there was like this trigger of he's not good enough. And it wasn't like I was saying he's not good enough, I'm not saying our relationship isn't good enough, but there was an element of like actually
there is a part of the relationship that it's not enough, and like I'm okay with that. It's not like it's not enough, I'm leaving you. It's like it's not enough, like I know we are capable of more. And how we sometimes speak to each other, and how sometimes, you know, like we'll go a few days without really being really close to each other, and I'm like, I can see how relationships get complacent. You know, we're 5 years into ours. You know, everyone says the honeymoon period, and then suddenly, and we're working with a lot of people in relationships, by the way, and you know, 2 years in, most people struggle with, like, you know, their mask you know, their mask really gets revealed, their triggers get really revealed, and then most people don't really know how to navigate through the triggers. So I'm still navigating through my triggers, David's still navigating through his triggers, still 5 years into the relationship, and I know so many people are doing this, so many people are in a relationship, but they don't talk about it, they deny it, they put on a front that we're perfect. David and I aren't perfect, and we've never put on a front of being perfect. He is the most amazing boyfriend, husband, caretaker, dad, all of the above, and he over the last 5 years, but there's still elements of, you know, imperfections and traits and lack of love, because that's what it is. It comes down to is like the programming, the society, the conditionings, all of that sort of separates that love being there all the time. And I really reflected on like it being like the love I have for myself, how I am to myself, like the guilt I carry towards when I do close off, or I do shut off, and I do create distance, how it affects me when we're not intimate for a while, things like that. Like there's things that do affect me and my mood, and how I interpret the world, and how I interpret my day, that day to day. But me recognizing this and it coming to the surface, and reflecting and opening and saying to David, like, I need to like talk to you a little bit about what's coming up for me. It taught me so much about myself, and it just allowed this whole new level of understanding for each other. We both recognise, you know, what we can do better, and we both apologise for certain things, how we've been, and we both got down to the root of actually how we felt underneath the surface level. You know, which there was still abandonment there was still like loneliness there, and you can be in a relationship and still feel really lonely. Like I definitely felt that out there in Marbella, like moments of real loneliness and neglect. And everyone has their own way of dealing with things, you know, but I don't have any escapism things like of drinking or numbing, or like I don't do that. So I genuinely just face what I feel. I can communicate as well, because I had to say to David that I texted him one of the days and I said, babe, I feel really, really alone, and I can't stop crying. I had to go off and just cry. And, you know, even now I can feel the emotion in my eyes. But, you know, because it's so sad how so many of us live day-to-day life not opening up, not telling people how alone we feel. And I find that so sad, because if I'm feeling it, I know one of you are feeling it, and I know if I'm feeling it, there's others out there that feel it, but they don't say it. They just put on a brave face, they bury it, and they pretend they're okay. They bury the emotion, they don't let the emotion flow, they suppress it, and then it just manifests as more loneliness. Sorry guys, I'm full of crying here. But like, I just find that like so sad. There's like a deep grief there of like how many of us are living in these relationships, normalizing them feeling lonely, normalizing feeling the way they feel, when I'm like, this should be, yes, it's normal, everyone feels it, but it shouldn't be hidden. It shouldn't be hidden, it should be expressed, it should be moved, it should be felt, it should be released, because that is the only way into healing, into integrating, to recognize the gap between the love that you seek and the love that you don't have. The only way to move it and heal it is to feel it. And, you know, I'm just so proud of myself, like how much I've moved through, you know, so then I can fall in love with myself more, feel more safe in my body, feel more safe in my relationship, you know, break chains and patterns that my family, you know, my broken family had, and David's broken family had, to just feel free. And I think so many of us are seeking freedom, but the freedom is within you, and you have to set yourself free. You have to set the emotions that you've suppressed free. And yeah, just this holiday has literally like felt like a rebirth for me. And I've learned so much about myself, and have moved through so many emotions. I wish I could have captured them for you. Like, obviously I'm telling you now, and I do feel like this pregnancy is still, feel like I've said this before, you know, through IVF, trying to conceive journey, 5 years, like moving through everything that we had to move through, was teaching me so much about myself and preparing me to become the mother I know I can be. And it's taught me so much. So, and I'm still now 4.5, nearly 5 months pregnant, and it's still teaching me so much. And I just find that just such a blessing that my body activates when I confirm something, when I affirm something, and I'm like, I'm ready. My body's like, you're ready, let's move the emotion. And then the emotion just comes up and it flows and it frees me, and then I feel better, and then I feel like I'm a better person, I'm a better wife, I'm a better stepmom. Yeah, I finished now.
I had to walk a mission for that.
Did you? Just to go to the toilet?
That superstore over there. I want to walk down that street though.
But I just shared what I moved through over the last few weeks since we've been travelling, and how much it's brought up for us.
Okay, yeah.
But do you think I've changed
What?
in what I've moved through? I know it's only been like a week.
Yeah, you're always changing. Forever evolving. It's the whole point of us on this path.
And it's actually allowing our relationship to go deeper. We're getting closer. Every moment we move through something, every deep emotion we release, our relationship, we become closer and closer. And most people would think, oh, how can you get closer? Like, you're the best, you know. I know a lot of people look up to David and I in our relationship. But I'm telling you now, guys, we're only, what they say about your brain, that you're only using the tiniest capacity of what you're capable of, right?
Yeah.
And seriously, if David and I are only touching a little bit more than previous relationships I've been in, or other relationships, I'm telling you now, there's so much more to love. And David and I are on that mission to find that love. That's what separated man and woman. That's what's... I don't know if we're allowed to walk through here. Oh my God, this might be dangerous, babe, to walk through here. We're literally walking through the set and there's like ladders everywhere. You sure we're allowed to walk through here? Oh my God, it's like a little bakery.
Everything's fake.
I know. Fake bread.
They're literally walking through a set like that.
Yeah. But I know this is part of our mission, is to move what's in the way of man and woman. This is why we've got our tattoos. 7 days into... you got yours? 7 days into our relationship, because we knew there's a load of shit between man and woman that we're moving through, we're embodying, we're allowing to release, so we can live a deeper union, love between us. And I know this is going to benefit our children. The children in my belly right now. And I know it's going to benefit his children and their relationships. And I know it's going to have a ripple effect on those we teach. It already is. We teach so many couples how to navigate through all of this shit between man and woman. But it doesn't mean it's easy, guys. But anyways, that's my story over. It's been an emotional time. Last day of the holiday, but my God, have I transformed. I feel like a holiday I've had physically, it's been great because I feel physically relaxed, and then emotionally I feel open, I feel restored, I feel renewed, like a rebirth has happened as well, and I'm just so thankful. If I go and tell my family I've had a really emotional time, they would be thinking, oh God, are you okay? Like, oh my God, this is so sad. No, it's not sad. This is amazing. I'm grateful that I've moved through all of these emotions and I've had an emotional time, because I feel renewed. And that's the important thing about emotions, guys. Don't be afraid of them. It frees you. It makes you feel alive. Eat steak for the first time.
Let's say again.
Have I had steak since I've been pregnant? I don't know if I have.
It's so good.